Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. Have a need for a draw knife. Haven't used one in a long time, and really haven't got a sharp one anymore. So I'm going to set about sharpening one this morning, see if I can't make it work. Take this Harbor Freight diamond plate. I'm going to take this Harbor Freight diamond plate, and it's 200, 300, 400, and 600. I'm going to start out at 200, see if I can't get the edge semi-close, and then we'll take it in from there. Kind of careful, I don't want to bust the plastic housing. I like diamond plates because they only use water as lubricant, so it's easier to clean up. First thing I want to do is flatten the back. To do that, I'm just going to lay to make that happen. First thing I want to do is flatten the back. So I'm just going to lay the back flat on the stone and move it back and forth until it all has the same scratch marks. This is the part of any sharpening process that takes the longest. Once I have a tool sharp, then dressing the edge and bringing it back to sharp doesn't take much. Getting it there to the point where the two edges become a fine point usually takes a little work, especially on something that's old. I have my way of sharpening things, everybody else has their way. Sometimes my way requires complete reversal from what they've been doing. This is actually going to be one of the easier draw knives to sharpen because it's flatter than the rest of them. I have some that look like somebody used them for pros more than draw knives. I have to keep adding water so that it flushes the grit out of the stone. Otherwise, all that rust and dirt in there acts like little ball bearings and the blade just rolls across the top of it and doesn't actually do much cutting. Quite a ways to go. After about an hour of stoning this draw knife,
it's starting to look okay. It's got a bit more to go. But I've noticed that I've worn off part of the diamonds right here on the stone. Now, this is the 200 grit, and the 200 grit gets most of the work. It does a lot of the roughing. And I think first off, I'm gonna end up getting another one of these stones. But since it was 15 bucks, and I got it with a 20% off discount coupon, it's not that much. And I'll probably just get either another one like this, or they'll probably have something close to it there at Harbor Freight. But I think I need a new 200 grit stone. Knowing that this thing has done this, I think I'm also going to switch over and go with a coarser old-fashioned stone just to see what happens.
Oh, it's definitely going to scratch it. I need some oil. Seems solid enough. Put my catch rag down there. The Diamond Stone 200 grit left it pretty polished compared to what this rough Norton stone's doing to it. So I should be able to see the difference fairly quickly. The camera does pretty well in low light conditions, and those 200 watt light bulbs that I got shining on my back are actually very, very warm. So I'm going to turn them off a little bit. Probably could use a belt sander on this and knock it out in a pretty big hurry. And I have some up there that are just way too far gone to be doing this. I thought this one was close enough that I could actually make it work with sharpening it with a hand stone. The reason I don't like using power tools on something like this is it's a one-way street. Once you take too much metal off, you can't put it back on. This is slower. It takes longer to do. But you make mistakes slowly, you can correct them as you go. I actually have an edge over about 1/3 of the blade. This area right here is coming down fairly sharp. This little area here is not quite as sharp. This area here, nothing. I was a little concerned that I was going to be taking material off too fast with this stone. But now that it's loaded up, it's slowed down quite a bit. And also I think I've knocked off a lot of the high grit. So it's not leaving scratches like it was in the beginning. Because I got one spot that I have to take quite a bit down, I don't want to take the whole blade down to match the one spot, but it seems to make better sense to have the whole blade down to the same thickness than to have one spot with a scoop in it. So I'm taking the whole blade down. Long, slow process. I'm using lamp oil on the stone, and I used to buy scented lamp oil, but this just happens to be what was underneath the kitchen sink, and it's not scented. I like it better. It's basically kerosene. But without any scent to it, it doesn't smell like kerosene, so I'm not stinking up the shop. And that was one of the reasons that I didn't really like oil stones, was the smell, you know? Made a mess. Stunk, got all over everything. This is still getting all over everything. But it doesn't smell bad. I got scratches all the way out to the edge except for this one spot here that's pitted. How often I use a draw knife. I'm thinking that that one little area of pitting off on the far right hand edge, that one little black spot right there, I don't think that's going to cause me any problems as far as me using it, and taking off another 25-30 thousandths of material off of this blade probably won't do the blade any good either. And the next 50 guys that use this after me, because it'll last forever, will probably appreciate having that extra little bit of steel there. And the next time I sharpen it, that little spot will go down, and then again and again and again. Although I won't have to flatten the back again. Once I've done the back like this, all I'll really have to do is sharpen this edge, and that will take care of the whole sharpening issue without having to do all this back flattening. Well, it's been attributed to Lincoln, and I don't know if it's true or not, but somebody said if I was given the task of cutting down a tree and I needed to get it done in 6 hours, roughly paraphrasing, I would spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. Well, time spent making this little jig to hold the oil stone, well worth it. The 200 grit stone, I've actually wore this through. I don't know what grit this is, fairly coarse. Might be 200, who knows. But it cut really quick, did a good job. I just slide this up and back, pull the stone out, turn it over, put it back in, take the screws back up again, and they'll go down and forward. Lock the stone in, we're good to go. That does a nice job of polishing. Well, I think I've done all that the oil stone is going to do. Wipe it down. Let it sit there on the rag to dry out a bit. Wipe up the mess off the holding fixture. Not bad for some scrap wood. A few minutes time. Held an oil stone so I didn't have to chase it around the bench. Worked quite well. Now it's time to go wash my hands, sit down, take a break. Now it's time to wash my hands, go upstairs and sit down and take a break. Now it's time to go upstairs, wash my hands, sit down for a few minutes and take a break. This is a really good upper body workout. But, you know, really the motion is not hard. It's kind of a natural ergonomic. It's time to go upstairs, wash my hands, sit down and take a break. Kind of an upper body workout. It's really kind of a natural motion though. I would say it's ergonomic. It's got my hands in a neutral position and I'm able to use both hands and just kind of hold it and rock it back and forth. It allows me to do a nice clean job on flattening the back of the blade. The old guys knew what they were doing. Okay. Well, that's making a jig and using an oil stone to sharpen a draw knife. Draw knife's not done. I still got other stones to go through it. I really want to have the edge kind of polished. Not that it needs to be. More than likely it's good enough at the level it's at. This oil stone on the fine side, I don't know what the grit is on it. I can look it up. It's a India combination bench stone number 85565-8. So I think I'll go upstairs and check it out on the internet and see actually what the grit is on it. I would imagine it's somewhere around 220, maybe even as high as 250 or even 300, I don't know. But it does a great job. Fixture worked really good. So now it's time to go upstairs, wash my hands, sit down, take a break. Finish my morning coffee. If you have any suggestions for a new video or questions about today's video or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments below. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching. I have to remember to look at the lens. I'm looking at the screen and watching myself move, and that means that I'm looking off to the side in every shot.